जय Ram forget. Now, the reason for giving this little introduction is that the opening song of Geet Ramayana is the tune which was implemented in this composition, which was made here at Anandashram in 2015 for Papsa. Swai Shri Ramdas Aikati Swai Shri Ramdas Aikati Bhakta Varga Ramnam Gati Bhakta Varga Ramnam Gati Om Sri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Sri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Sri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Sri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Sri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram 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 Ram Nama
सतगुरु मिले मोरे सारे दुख बिसरे, अंतर के पट खुल गयो रे। भक्ति की जोत जगी घट भीतर, भक्ति की जोत जगी घट भीतर, कोटि कर्म सब जन गयो रे। कोटि कर्म सब जन गयो रे। सतगुरु मिले मोरे सारे दुख बिसरे, अंतर के पट खुल गयो रे। सतगुरु मिले मोरे सारे दुख बिसरे, अंतर के पट खुल गयो रे। भक्ति की जोत जगी घट भीतर, भक्ति की जोत जगी घट भीतर, कोटि कर्म सब जन गयो रे। कोटि कर्म सब जन गयो रे। सतगुरु मिले मोरे सारे दुख बिसरे, अंतर के पट खुल गयो रे। अंतर के पट खुल गयो रे। बिन दीपक मोरे भरे प्रकाशा, तिमिर कहाँ जाने नस गयो रे। बिन दीपक मोरे भरे प्रकाशा, तिमिर कहाँ जाने नस गयो रे। त्रिवेणी से धार बहत मन में है, त्रिवेणी से धार बहत मन में है। अष्ट कमल दल खिल गयो रे। अष्ट कमल दल खिल गयो रे। सतगुरु मिले मोरे सारे दुख बिसरे, अंतर के पट खुल गयो रे। सतगुरु मिले मोरे सारे दुख बिसरे, अंतर के पट खुल गयो रे। कोटि भानु मन भला प्रकाशा, और ही रंग बदल गयो रे। कोटि भानु मन भला प्रकाशा, हजारों नूर से नूर जो मिल गयो री, नूर से नूर जो मिल गयो री। सतगुरु ने मोरे सारे दुख बिसरे, अंतर के पट खुल गयो री। सतगुरु ने मोरे सारे दुख बिसरे, अंतर के पट खुल गयो री। भक्ति की ज्योत जगी घट भीतर, भक्ति की ज्योत जगी घट भीतर। कोटि कर्म सब जल गयो री, कोटि कर्म सब जल गयो री। सतगुरु ने मोरे सारे दुख बिसरे, अंतर के पट खुल गयो री, अंतर के पट खुल गयो री, अंतर के पट खुल गयो री।
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Prior to coming here, what welled up in our mind was to go through a recap. Suddenly the prompting comes, the program will not be complete if we don't go through some of the words of Papa and Mataji. To make us know certain fundamental things of what should be the attitude while giving. A very interesting portion in this book. On a lighter vein, he starts. When Mataji went to Bombay for her dental treatment, Ramdas, who was here in the ashram, heard that she had had love offerings amounting to a few thousands of rupees. That means prior to 63, 62. Just imagine. On those days, a few thousand means our salary was 127 rupees then. 50 paise for meal. You can just imagine. And ashram was trying to make both ends meet. Very difficult. Struggling to make both ends. Now you see, What does she do when she returns to the ashram? She gives to Ramdas all the balance she has left with her. Do you know how much it was? Papa, the master narrator, pauses at this stage and as we crane forward to listen, says in a stage whisper, 295 rupees. That was all she had left with her. And do you know what Ramdas told her? That he considered himself very fortunate to have even this amount at all. Even at the time of leaving for dental treatment, Papa gave her a purse of 75 rupees. And you must hear his own words, but we remember those words. It was explained in God Experience Body number 1. She immediately changed to 5 rupees each and she was distributing like puppet to everybody. If Ramdas had stretched the hands, he also would have got. And by the time she got into the train, she was empty. Now we come to the most interesting part. The rest of Papa's words were drowned in loud laughter in which Mataji, who now happened to come into the bhajan hall, also joined. There she is, Papa said, pointing to Mataji. There is the mother of all. Ask her if this was not true. 293 rupees out of a few thousands of rupees. Papa said, Mataji in a quiet voice, who taught me to give but you? You are the master giver. I am but your child. We fell silent as Papa listened to Mataji, then replied, there you are, laying everything at Ramdas's door. Turning back to us, Papa said, as Ramdas was saying, this is very important for all of us, very important. Because everybody knows about Papa Mataji. But how Papa brings out Mataji's various facets, in a very, very touching way. As Ramdas was saying, if you want to know the true pleasure of giving, watch Mataji at it. And the best part of it is that she does not give away something as though she is doing you a favor. She says that she is giving you what belongs to you only. In other words, she is only returning to you what is already yours. Blessed is such a giver. Even more blessed are those who receive. All kinds of things are given away as gifts in this world. But in most cases, even a gift carries a selfish motive. Either the giver wants name and fame or wants from you some favor in return. This is not true giving. It is only horse trading. You give so much, expect so much in return. Where does love come into it? If love is there, the sense of giving and the giver and the receiver does not arise at all. The giver and the receiver are one and the same. The giver and the receiver are one and the same. Now, do you expect compliments from the world if you feed yourself or put a nice dress? You do it for your own pleasure. When the sense of duality is not there, you give for your own pleasure. Ask Mataji why she is giving. She will ask you back, who is giving? Watch Mataji when she is giving away something. You will see all the love in the world glow on her face. And she is happiest when she gives. That is why sometimes Ramdas jokes with her, telling her that if she could, she would even give Ramdas away. And she protests saying, but the next line is very important. She protests saying that Ramdas is already seated in their hearts and so there is no need to give him away. So great is the love of the Divine Mother. She identifies herself completely with her children. You can experience this unique love, love with capital L, only at the highest stage of realization. When all duality ceases, when the whole world becomes yours and all your own forms, only then is life worth living, a life lived in love. Every act an expression of that all-embracing universal love. Only then does life becomes a joy forever. We had shared this, what Pooja Swamiji shared with us. But again, it's a joy to repeat that incident. Mataji wanted some homa to be performed inside on some pretext. We were wondering why she has specifically mentioned that no ritual, nothing, but why? Later on only will we understand. At the outset, we may not be able to understand. So when the 5 or 6 Purohis came and did their homa, on the last but one day, Pooja Mataji called up Swamiji and said, what is the bank balance? No money, cash, everything goes to Mataji. Check, she is not interested. So that goes to Pooja Swamiji, who will make arrangements to remit it in the bank. And we'll have a list of creditors. So every time the balance goes up, Ashram will clear those dues. So Swamiji has a big list of creditors, and then he was reluctant to reveal, no? So he said, so many are to be paid. I did not ask you that. Tell me what is the balance. So Swamiji said, we had no other go. So send the passbook to the bank. And it must have been in mid-70s, 50 years back. So at that time there was 75,000 or something in the balance. So Swamiji reported. So Mataji said, withdraw 70,000 rupees. And evening, Mataji told them, how many are they? So said, put 5,000 each in everybody's account. And some dhotis, some their house, so many things Mataji listed. Swamiji said, everything was bought. And Mataji said, you give it to them tomorrow. So when the function was over, when they were about to take leave, they were all called to Ramnam building, and each one was given a cover. And all those, whatever Mataji wanted. So when this Poojari priest went back to their room, suddenly he came back running towards Swamiji. Is there any mistake in putting it in the cover? Swamiji said, why? In our lifetime, we have never received a bhiksha like this, darshana like this. At best, we will get 100 rupees, 500 rupees, that's all. It is 5,000 rupees. So, Swamiji said, Mataji's calculation is something different, So when they left, Mataji reported, Swamiji reported this dialogue to Mataji. You know what Mataji said? Exactly what Papa said. These priests, what do they get whenever they go for anything? They will get 100 or 200. They have got a family now. A lot of problems will be there. I am not destined to give them more. They come only once in their lifetime. We should have been able to pay them more. They have got family, they are not sannyasis. They have got enough commitments on their head. Immediately she places herself. Taji's mother. The more we think about it, no, the mother of all. Her identification with everybody is total. Nobody is a stranger. And to everybody, she is an earthly mother. Many incidents such. Whenever we come here, we used to watch her dealing in her room, where she uses the privilege of sitting there and watching her. When Papa says, the glow in her face. And we never knew that Ashram was finding it difficult to make both ends meet at that time. But not a single symptom we can make from her when somebody comes there and asks and how she gives, how she organizes to give. Money may not be there with her, but she has got a knack of way of getting money from somebody and passing it on to somebody. So this aspect, what should be the attitude while giving, All of us may be doing something, no doubt, but this particular portion makes us to, it's called, the divine host. The divine host. So where, if all these things have been called out, we are deeply grateful to Shuddhanji because had he not recorded this and brought it out, how will we come to know? And we are not reading it for the sake of knowing. We know Mataji, we have heard about Mataji. We also had the privilege of seeing Mataji. But this aspect, Papa's revelation, she does not give away anything as though she is doing you a favor. Papa, very difficult for all of us. She says that she is giving you what belongs to you only. That means, Papa, to her, God is Papa. Papa provides her with the wherewithal. And Papa sends people, so it is theirs, Immediately the other thing will not come. Oh, tomorrow I have to clear this, day after tomorrow I have to clear that. It doesn't come at all. And in this fashion, she has been running the ashram. Something else. We cannot even conceive that type of handling. Otherwise, when ashram is struggling, when she gets thousands and thousands there in Bombay, she has distributed there itself everything and brings back only a small amount. So to her, that means, to her, every creation, every needy person comes to her so that their demand, their needs can be met with. That is why God makes somebody to give money to her. Everybody knows she will go to the most deserving one, so nobody will ask anything. Sri Krishna ji used to tell us, whenever we are here, suppose she wants to give to somebody and ashram does not have money, and if Sri Krishna ji goes there, she will immediately ask, when are you planning to go on such and such a day? So, what is your cash balance? So immediately he will not answer. Whatever is there, it will be placed before her. And she takes away whatever she wants and distributes. And before Sri Krishna ji leaves, somebody will come there, she will ask the same question and give something, add something more to what she has taken from him. And unimaginable. When Pinakin Bhai, once we heard, not the Pinakin Bhai told us. So when some need was there, immediately she said, have you got money? He said, I don't have money, but a check. Immediately went to the room, brought the checkbook and signed with no amount, no name, and gave it to Mataji. So Mataji asked her, how do you know that what I am going to fill? You have got a partnership firm, you are responsible to answer. How will you know that? He said, whatever Mataji wants to write, Mataji can write. They know very well whom to be given, what to be given. Mataji knows very well. Knowing their pulse, Mataji would decide that. So there are many such incidents of how Mataji treated everybody as her children, though she doesn't say that. To her, everybody is Papa. But from our standpoint, we say she is the mother of all. Because the moment we think about a mother, how mother is impartial towards her children, especially when they were young, and how unconditional. She does not expect any return or praise or anything like that, recognition. She just gives for the sake of giving. That is what Papa has said. In other words, she is only returning to you what is already yours. Blessed is such a giver. Even more blessed are those who receive. All kinds of things are given away as gifts in the world, but in most cases, even a gift carries a selfish motive. Either the giver wants name or fame or wants from some favor. This is not true giving. It is only horse trading. You give so much, you expect so much in return. Where does love come into it? If love is there, the sense of giving and the giver and the receiver does not arise. The giver and the receiver are one and the same. Now, do you expect compliments from the world if you feed yourself or put on a nice dress? You do it for your own pleasure. When the sense of duality is not there, you give for your own pleasure. Ask Mataji why she is giving. She will ask you back, who is giving? Watch Mataji when she is giving away something. You will see all the love in the world glow on her face, and she is happiest when she gives. That is why sometimes Ramdas jokes with her, telling her that if she could, she would even give Ramdas away. And she protests, saying that Ramdas is already seated in their hearts, so there is no need to give him away. So great is the love of the Divine Mother. She identifies herself completely with her children. This is the word. She identifies herself completely with her children. Their joys are her joys, their sorrows are her sorrows. You can experience this unique love, love with a capital L, only at the highest stage of realization, when all duality ceases, when the whole world becomes yours and all your own forms. Only then life is worth living, a life lived in love. Every act an expression of that all-embracing universal love. Only then does life become a joy forever. So, we have half an hour. From 23rd onwards, morning and evening, excepting this morning, Papa gave us opportunities to share so many precious words of wisdom as shared by Shuddhananji in the book With My Master. To ensure that we carry some words, we will go through this exercise of recap, not for anything else. So one word, two word, or anything that we like. Need not be in the chronological order also. We are not worried about that. Because what do we carry? All of you can. That particular portion from who wants God realization. A heart which has only the welfare of devotees. When that heart felt, Papa felt that nobody is coming forward to seriously take up the sadhana. On that moment, these were the words used, who wants God realization? what is the use of, if Papa says to Mataji, what is the use of your dinning this into their ears again and again when they do not care much about it themselves? Who wants God realization these days? They talk about it, they like to hear Ramdas talk about it, but who will put in the least effort for it? They will go to any pains for a worldly object like a desirable son-in-law, a new business contract, a new job, and things like that. But when it comes to giving a little time to remember God and meditate on God, they are too busy. Papa must show God to them. That is what they say. Oh yes, Papa would be only too happy to show God to them, but they must have eyes to see. How can Papa, with all the goodwill on earth, show them God when their eyes are set only on worldly pleasures? There are limits to even what a Papa can do. He cannot catch hold of their tufts of hair, turn their faces in the direction of God, though in one or two cases, because of Ram's prompting, Ramdas has even gone to these limits to bring some, by force as it were, in Godward direction. But those are rare cases where Ram made Ramdas act in the manner perhaps because there was no hope otherwise for those persons. They were destined by their prarabdha to sink lower and lower in the mires of worldliness, and Ram made Ramdas go to their rescue. Ramdas cannot act in such a fashion in everybody's case. They must show some inclination at least to want God. That is all Ramdas asks of them. Show some desire to seek God, and Ramdas will do the rest, he tells them. But even this desire is absent. When there is so much wealth to be garnered, much finery is to be owned, so many cinemas to be seen, who has time for God? But someday they too will realize what they have been missing in their lives all along. Ram will give them that realization. Sooner or later, the seed of God realization will take root in their life and blossom forth to fruition. Till then, they are destined to go through all the cycles of pleasure and pain, ups and downs. Ram's will be done. Ramdas has done all that he can. He has shown them the straight and easy path to be trodden upon. He has cleared for them all the hurdles and stumbling stones on the way. They will take the first step when Ram prompts them. Whether this will happen when Ramdas is physically here or not is in Ram's hands. So this message is a powerful message for all of us. If we show some sign, there is an assurance, Not that we are God-forsaken. Papa has assured a day will come when we will all turn. But, and one clue he is giving, show some inclination and Papa will do the rest. This is not a thing to be just heard, something to be... Once in a way we must remember this dialogue to make our efforts more and more strong. Otherwise, our norms, our likes and dislikes, our preferences, our priorities, our rights and wrongs, that dominate us, which will prevent us from moving inward. We should be, at least this year-end program, throw some light on a very, very important matter. Yes. Anything next? Ramnam with God remembrance. Taraka mantra. Whoever comes to Ramdas with his or her burden of woes and cares, Ramdas has only one tonic to offer, Ramnam. Some of them go back disappointed that Ramdas did not prescribe elaborate yogasanas and the like, or sadhanas like breath control, standing on one leg, etc. What need is there for all these rituals and practices when Ramnam can give you all the joys of the three worlds? Ramnam is verily the path of surrender. Absolute surrender to Ram, whose glories you remember when you chant. Two things. We are also doing Ramnam, no? But what Papa has said, it does not come true in our life. All of us are doing Ramnam. These two conditions, these 2 points rather, not conditions. First is, Ramnam is the path of surrender. Absolute surrender to Ram, whose glories you remember when you chant Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. When you sing Ramnam or any other name, you are not worried what happens to you. He takes care of you. He who planted the seed of Ramnam in your heart sees that it takes root and blossom forth, making you an instrument.
Ramnam can cure our diseases.
Right?
Can Ramnam cure our diseases, she said.
He is safe, whether it is physically cured or not. We get the needed strength and courage to rise above the pain and suffering. That is what we have seen in Mahatma's life. Actually, when we say Ramnam chanting, Ramnam chanting, Ramnam chanting, if we go through that, Papa clearly mentions that we should always hammer this, that we are chanting the name of one who is within us, who is making me to chant. That means the sense of doership, sense of the planner, the sense of planning, the sense of owning, all these things should go. That is why he said path of surrender. Then we don't ask, any condition. Whatever you want me to do, you gave me a body. You made so many things for the sustenance of the body. Knowingly or unknowingly, we would have violated some physical laws. So that is why it has come out in the form of disease. You have also provided the remedy through medical science. So all these things are there. Now whatever you want, you do it. Suppose the Ramnam does not say that I will give this, I will do that. Ramnam makes you aware that he is the actuator and he is making us to go through a process. Surrender, this word is important, that answers everything. Diabetes, yeah, exactly, yes. The dialogue with the diabetes. He was not asking when I will get out of it, no. He said he has come to stay, a good friend, let him stay there. No? In a lighter vein, he said, that stage is difficult for us to agree. But at least, some cushioning will be there. We can say, okay, it's all right. You give me the strength and courage to go through everything. Because I find it difficult to bear this pain. If you don't give me that, what do you call that? Endurance, capacity of endurance. What can I do? I find the pain unbearable. So during that particular pain time, we may not be able to remember. But before that, in between that and after that, we can truly, suppose we keep on hearing all these and then trying to contemplate upon it, some effect will be there. And Gandhiji went one step ahead. He named it as Namopati, To him, we have said, he has not taken any medicine. Even in the midst of his hectic activity, with one cloth on his body, traveling through different places, in different climates. Even the other day in the Satsang we were sharing, at Amki, when he developed diarrhea, and when Manu, when she was the only one who was accompanying, and when she found Gandhiji was collapsing, she became panicky and about to send somebody to the nearest village where Dr. Sushila Nayyar was camping. Because Gandhiji gave instruction nobody should accompany. So they were stealthily camping outside to meet any demand. So when she was about to send the chit, Gandhiji opened the eyes and then asked, what are you planning to do? Then Manu went, of course, they will only say truth. So this is what had happened, you were collapsing. What am I to do, Babu? Everybody will take time. They will take task. They will say, you were not sensitive, you were not responsible. So I was about to send a chit to come to asking her to immediately rush up here. And Gandhiji's word, very touching word. Today he has saved both of us. Whenever we are not in a position to handle, we should have contacted the doctor of doctors, Ram. So if we are belittling, that is called surrender, when Papa says surrender. To him, Ramnam was the panacea. Of course, that stage is very difficult, very difficult. Many. There have been many instances where that also the doctor says. So the idea is whether Ramnam can help us or not. It is purely how we look at it. Not merely chanting the name for any of our suffering. If we develop this attitude of surrender, so Ramnam should enable us to develop the attitude of surrender. This is what Papa here clear-cut says. Ramnam is verily the path of surrender. Absolute surrender to Ram, whose glories you remember when you chant Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. When you sing Ramnam or any other name of the Lord, you are not worried what happens to you. He takes care of you. That faith, that trust. So we watch ourselves, even a trifle thing happens, are we becoming upset? That means the Ramnam is going only at the lip level. We need this clarification. That is why these points are raised, All of us need this clarification. Probably by going through it again and again and again and again, we might be able to develop more and more trust, more and more faith in Ram. Yes. Next one. Yogakshemam Mahamya.
Sweetness of Ramnam. Sweetness of Ramnam.
Papa once said, do you know how sweet Ramnam is? It's a joy to sing it, to chant it. The joy of Ramnam is something that comes to the man who has it on his lips, not after many years of sadhana, but from the very moment he takes it on his lips. It is the one sadhana which has none of the rigors of sadhana. On the other hand, makes sadhana itself a thing of joy forever. Do you know why it is so? Because when you repeat or sing Ramnam, you are dwelling your mind on Him, who is love, light and bliss. We are also chanting. No doubt, we can say we are also tasting some sweetness while chanting. Otherwise, why will we chant? So we are chanting because we love. But it is not everlasting. The moment the chanting is over, we are back to square one. All grumblings, complaints, finding fault with our attachment towards our possession, individual, everything is intact. Ambitions, our worries, our everything is there, no? We don't say, oh, I got a life. No. Immediately when we react, we come down to the me and mind level and react immediately. That is not the sweetness Papa is talking. You are dwelling on your mind on Him who is love, light and bliss. He is the great provider, He is the great facilitator who has been providing right from the moment I was conceived in my mother's womb. Till this moment, nothing that I can claim for myself. When I know that, the sweetness slowly wells up. Yogakshemam Mahamyaham, you were saying. On the first day when we were taking Gita Jayanti day, so due to paucity of time we could not take up so many shlokas, a few shlokas. But then what came to us was the evening session. One chapter is there under the title Yogakshemam Mahamyaham. That led us to what Papa talked about Yogakshemam Mahamyaham. Always His will, no? His will alone prevails. That he was making a mention about it, and then Yogakshemam Mahamyaham, 142. Papa was asked a question. When Papa started talking to you of Ram, his face would glow up so warmly, his voice would almost become a whisper, his eyes, though looking at you, not see you at all. What a wonderful feeling it is, Papa remarked, to find yourself cared for, looked after with such tender care at every turn in your life. No earthly mother can bestow such love that Ram pours on you. Gita speaks of the great assurance, Yogakshemam Mahamyaham. The Lord assures the devotee not only full protection and security, Kshemam, but also yoga, eternal communion with Him. That is the destiny that awaits all those who surrender themselves completely to Him. Then a devotee asks, how can we reach the state where we can experience Yogakshemam? All our wakeful moments. Papa's loving reply, Ramnam. Ramdas can think of no easier or surer path than the constant repetition of his name. Ramnam can take you to the highest experiences that our sages and saints have spoken of. With Ramnam on your lips, there is no height of spiritual experience that you cannot scale. On other paths, there is always the danger that you might slip back and your progress be retarded. When you repeat Ramnam and remind yourself of the glories of Ram, He looks after your progress, you have nothing to worry about. In fact, as you go on repeating Ramnam and drinking deep of His limitless reserves of joy, you lose all concern how far you have gone on the road to salvation. The chanting of the Lord's name itself gives you joy. He who takes Ramnam has nothing to fear, nothing to lose. The whole world becomes His because the whole world itself is a manifestation of the supreme power whose votary you have become. Where is the place for fear in your own home, with your own people, when with the help of Ramnam, you identify all the people living in the world as your own? These are all the clues he is giving, not directly. Because we all know that 20 years, 30 years, 40 years we have been chanting. We chant, whenever time permits. Along with so many things, we also chant. But not probably not with the right attitude. He has not prompted us to have the right attitude. But now he feels that the time has come for all of us to see what attitude we should have while chanting. Because our history is our own experience. Nobody need tell us. When Papa says the moment you start chanting, you will enjoy the sweetness. Immediately we ask ourselves, do we enjoy the sweetness? What we call as sweetness is only a positive diversion, Just like any other diversion we are engaged in, it relieves us from that, but our usual realm of worries. Suppose you are reading a novel or watching a TV program or watching a dance program or a bhajan program or a music program, what really happens? You immerse yourself. And with that, you are free from your routine thoughts. That you call it as soon as it is over, the moment you come out of that program, you are back to yourself, That is not what Papa meant by the word sweetness. A sweetness that stays with us. So all this proper background. Initially we may not know all these things. So he will say, concentration, no concentration, chant. Because he should form a habit, Then we are asking again, I am chanting but I am not getting the sweetness which you have promised. Then he will say, mere chanting, what did he say? Mechanical chanting, lip level chanting, ritualistic chanting, it will not help you. Superficial chanting will not help you. Only at that time he will say that. And he will immediately say, bring our attributes. What do we know about attributes? Simply to repeat, you are this, you are that. No, that will not have any effect on us. Then he wants us to go back to our own source. When we build up this thought process, then we find how Papa takes us from stage to stage. You go to the origin of your and the world life. This is the word he used. So from there when we start, I have not done anything. So he has been with me. Whether I know him or not, whether I recognize him or not, whether I worship him or not, whether I deny him or not, whether I ignore him or not, he has not left me. That is why he said, no.
Swamiji, how is real life, how do you become sweetness, love to others?
How to?
How to become sweetness, love to others?
I cannot hear.
How to develop sweetness and love towards
That's what you know.
towards others.
Eh?
How to develop sweetness and love towards others.
Only when we try to identify the common factor, we develop that affinity. We have learned that, no? Anything that is common. You go to North India, somebody wears the mundu, and when they walk, immediately you will start thinking, where is he? He talks your language, immediately you will definitely. You hear somebody chanting the way in which you are chanting, some mantras. The other day we were telling, when we went to Delhi sometime during 70s, a Malay Mandir is there, a temple dedicated to Lord Muruga. So the arresting was the way in which they chant. Naturally we were drawn to that temple to hear the way in which they are chanting. So then we did not know. But these are all some of the forms by what is common in you. When you try to identify directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly, you develop an affinity. So if I am not feeling the love towards my co-creation, it is because I have not identified the common factor. From language, from dress, from customs, from habit, from your preferences, your priorities, when you find somebody is having the same priority. Suppose you like achar, somebody reads achar, you will say, you also like anything that is common. When we were in Wayanad, there was some conference was there in Delhi. So one of the friends, he was a lawyer. So he said in that meeting, so many people came. So then the minister also came. Then they had occasions to sit together for their lunch. So immediately he tells me, after coming back, I asked him, what was your profession? He said, I am a lawyer. I am a lawyer. Then he said, then we started sharing so many experiences. Okay, so it's the same profession. So that means we will be able to develop affinity towards other when we try to identify the common factor. But that will be only from the individual to individual. But Papa here says when you identify your source, and the source is also the source of everybody, then it becomes love, light and bliss. Otherwise it will be superficial again. When you meet him, you find joy, otherwise you don't. But here it is not like that. Here when we try to go deep into our own source, we find the same source is for everybody. Then that particular word, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Yes, then the next point. LIC. Very good. Life force, intelligence and consciousness. Because Ram is still far away from us. So to make us know that he is nearer to us, he is imminent, he is very much with us, how do we know? Then Papa clearly mentions life is the expression of Atman. We have some idea about life. And consciousness and intelligence, he has brought it out combined. Beautiful way. We don't know where we have kept it. So in that also he mentions. So that means in Bhagavad Gita it is said. In Bhagavad Gita it is clearly mentioned. Wait a minute. I think we have taken the proper words.
PPT is in the email, Swami. PPT is in the email. LIC.
Late, LIC came late only. LIC, somebody said, the other day when we were sharing, Samira said that. No, he may not have Papa's words. Anyway, we will try, we have sold it somewhere. Intelligence and consciousness. Anyway, so that is why we have. Then when we were sharing these thoughts on the 23rd, 24th, when devotee left for Bangalore, he brought it out. Easy way to remember is LIC. That means life force we can understand. Primordial intelligence, not the intelligence that we know as intelligence. The primordial intelligence. When there is no specs in the world, somebody should first conceive, nothing to guide them. The curiosity.
Chapter 10, 22, 22,
That is Bhagavad Gita, no? We are talking about Papa's words, He has combined both. So what we are trying to understand is when we read out that particular quotation, everything is combined. In that particular quotation, these both words are combined. Intelligence as well as consciousness. So life is the expression of Atman. That is also his word. And this intelligence and consciousness. So when we put together these three, that devotee said, it is easy to remember LIC. Because LIC we have heard in our life Insurance Corporation. So LIC came to that. So we are trying to understand. We know that we are talking. We know that we are hearing. We know that we are sitting. We know that we are. That is consciousness. Any creature comfort which we see now, which we enjoy now. Now, for example, this flask. When there is no flask in the world, when there is no glass in the world, when there is no chair in the world, when there is no table in the world, like that we should feel. Now we are thinking because we have seen, somebody has told us. There was nothing to fall back upon. So the first primordial intelligence. As we start thinking, even Mother Nature gave so many things to us. But that fruit has to be identified. That pulse has, grain is there, tuvar dal is there, urdu dal is there, mung dal is there. That somebody should identify and declare, that primordial intelligence. That has come out in the form of all the creature comforts which we are enjoying. Even now it keeps on working. So God is in the form of intelligence. Probably all of us are getting confused because we always think God as an entity, This is something beyond past thoughts. We cannot explain what is primordial intelligence. We can only see through the creation. When there is no mic amplifier, the word amplifier, to amplify, we always used to think about this dictionary, What a concept. Now when we go in the digital language, thesaurus, Now the moment you come across a word, you put that. You got it? Oh, you must have given it. Correct. Yeah, we got it. Life, intelligence, consciousness. Life force. In the world play, in the world play, these are the words of Papa combined. In this world play, there is one power at work, one consciousness that witnesses all its movements, one intelligence that guides and controls our affairs. In this world play, there is one power at work, life force. There is one consciousness that witnesses all its movements, one intelligence that guides and controls all affairs. So when Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Bijam mam sarvabhutanam viddhi partha sanadanam buddhir buddhivadam asmi. I am the intelligence of the intellect, or I am the intellect of the intelligence. So then to amplify that, Papa beautifully brought it out in an understandable way. In this world play, there is one power at work, one consciousness that witnesses all its movements, one intelligence that guides and controls all affairs. So that is how this LIC came.
Die will be done.
That only. That's a beautiful point. Huh?
In the sense of law is no excuse.
Wait. Yes. Making us to feel in the form of this LIC. So when somebody asked, when they heard Papa repeating this, what is God's will now, Papa? Then he said, God wills now that Ramdas should get up, go to the carpenter shed, watch everything, come back and sit in the Panchavati and wait for the maid. No? That made us to think. Anything and everything that we do, no? Though we may not be able to remember that His will prevails in anything and everything, we will ask bhaktas, as devotees, as spiritual children of Papa, we try to develop a habit. That we will try to bring this dimension at least 5 minutes in a few things in a day. That is how we should start, That is why it gave us a new outlook in our sadhana. So it is good that this was pointed out. So far, devotees draw joy from chanting the holy Ramnam and hear the words of wisdom shared by Beloved Papa through his teachings, treating spiritual journey as separate from the usual run of life's activity. This is the first mistake unknowingly we have committed. Treating spiritual journey as separate from the usual run of life's activities. When I do Ramnam, when I do bhajan, when I attend pravachans, when I go through the scriptures, words of wisdom, I treat all these things as spiritual. That is spiritual journey. Rest of the things our mind says, you are leading a family life, professional life, social life. So there is a clear-cut division between these. That is why we have not been able to understand His will properly. Papa demolishes the whole thing and says, however, the All-Merciful Lord, through the year-end session starting from 23rd December to 31st December, helped the devotees to actually understand the technique of plunging into the spiritual life along with the worldly life. That is, to try every day initially for a few moments, then it is he who makes to get up, prompt to do every kind of activity, right from getting up from the bed. It cannot be possible at the beginning. That means we are trying to demolish the divide between spiritual journey and the life journey. Papa built up our mental makeup in such a way of making us to do Ramnam, making us to hear all these words, thinking about it. To a very great extent, we are all relieved from the down-pulling tendencies to a very great extent, no doubt. Otherwise, we will not be sitting here and hearing. The very fact that he prompts us to sit and hear, that means, he used to say when he was talking about grace, even the awakening comes only because of his grace. So we are now talking and hearing and contemplating and ask this, through so many points, when we raise, we should know that we are the recipient of his grace. When we have come to that stage, this book, many of you might have read it, but this particular aspect was not touched and kindled. So during this 23, on 23rd or 24th, when we were prompted to go through these words, then suddenly, my will be done. Did you tell them my will be done? And that particular word, that immediately threw the light. Because the question was asked by Siddhanandaji as a child to Papa, okay, you say everything is happening only by God's will. What is His will now? Come to the point. Will now. Immediately Papa says this words. That gives us the clue. Don't separate spiritual journey from the life journey. Everything is ordained by Him, every minute is ordained by Him. So that is why He is prompting you to do it. We are not aware because the me and mind goes and owns it, that's all. So now we are trying to disown them and try to feel the real owner. That was a very good point. Tomorrow also we will try to bring it out. One more point somebody said.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
example.
Motorcycle example. You were
So,
going.
so what? Where does it fit in?
Ignorance of law is no excuse.
Acha. So the ignorance of law is no excuse. So then the point came that when he created this universe, he created various species. When he created human beings, along with the creation, he has also set spiritual laws and physical laws, material laws. So whenever we violate anything, we get violated, we have to pay the price for it. Because I don't know, I should be exempted, sorry, you have to pay. That is why we explained that when we are going in the motorbike, when the rear mirror got damaged, we took a diversion from Karaparambu, Karaparambu to that way. So that exactly when we turned, the mobile court was there, traffic police was there, they stopped. Then he said, you can go inside. Inside the van, the judge sits. So the police constable came and said he was not having a rear mirror. Then we said it got broken as we were trying. So we were going to the city to buy. Okay, you can go to the city, buy. Now you pay 50 rupees. And ensure that you next shop you do it. Otherwise again you will have to pay 50 rupees. On that day, we directly understood what is meant by ignorance of law is no excuse. Similarly, when we all came to this world, he has also made out spiritual laws and physical laws. Whenever we violate, whether we know it or not, we have to pay the price in the form of suffering, in the form of losses, in the form of diseases, and then instead of blaming, oh, that's all right, we call it as prarabdham or something, the cushioning will be there. So then we start trying to understand what are these. When you have got a vehicle, you will try to learn what is the traffic rules. Similarly, when I start thinking upon it, I try to learn from the spiritual scientists as well as the material scientists. What are the basic things I should understand? So spiritual laws are nothing but whenever I contract to myself, I am violating. Because I am enjoying everything provided by somebody, and I am thinking in terms of me and mine. So I have to pay the price. I am enjoying everything because of the bounteous nature of Mother Nature and society. The very air I breathe, I have not produced. The very earth on which I stand, I have not brought it. The very space, sun, anything can I say? The one which I ate today, it's all gift by society and Mother Nature. So when I become unaware of it, when I contract to myself, me and mine, I am violating unknowingly the spiritual laws. And therefore all is a sense of insecurity, sense of attachment to the possession, attachment to my person, all those things one by one. This is something on which we can all do some research. What according to us is spiritual law, what according to us is material law.
Mug Swamiji. Mug. Man to man, man to universe, and man to God. Toils of individuality.
Man with man with universe, man with God.
Hidden treasure.
Hidden treasure, that also we should know. That PPT came. Aptuktim Khananam Tavo Virishila. So we all know that when we want to dig water, suppose we don't have water, we will have the water diviner or somebody to come and they will say this spot. Immediately we will ask how many meters we have to go. And we have to do the digging. So there we believe it. Not believe, then say, oh, here water is there. I contemplate, I meditate, water, you should come. No. I must do whatever is necessary. So that is why this Aptoktim Karanam in Vivek Chudamani, the dialogue between the teacher and the taught. There the teacher says, first you should go to a person, a spiritual preceptor, And who says that you are the repository, you are the custodian of bliss, love, light and bliss. In our case, Papa says you are the embodiment of love, light and bliss. So that is the treasure. Simply I repeat love, light and bliss, it will not become a reality to me. I must do the digging. That is why he said in the early in the morning, when I try to go deeply, I remove all my down pulling vasanas. And then when I become, that is purification. The treasure is hidden now through so many layers of that which is not the treasure. We try to take it. That means he is there. That which is now covered by me and mine, it has to be removed. And when I start removing it, I should ensure that it does not affect anybody. And it should not be in a hush-hush way. Not too much of publicity and all. And one day, we will start experiencing the glimpse of it. There, in the lighter wind, they said, you will hear the sound of the, when the crowbar touches the metal, ting. So that means, you are near that, so slowly cover it, take it out, clean it, open it, own it. So here we said, when the process of purification starts, that is the me and mine, gets completely purified, one day we will become aware of that infinite. Actually, will there be anybody aware? No, you become that, But initially, only through an example it can be conveyed. But actually, when we start doing it, the me and mine, suppose morning, you go for a walk. You are walking. Mouth is standing, Ramnam. You are walking. You are witnessing. You are witnessing your own walking, your own chanting. That experience, how can we explain here? I am not there. So the witnessing itself is a digging. Detaching ourselves from the sense of me and mine. If it can be stretched for longer hours. So this is what is meant by that. Now it's already 5:15. 5:15. So tomorrow morning we thought, we will not have any satsang session because we are fully, Ramdas has got a big agenda. If that is not possible, we will see. Otherwise, in the afternoon session, we will have more time and go through this intensely, including the one which we have shared now. There could be so many points. That is the main take home. By this process, we can note down, we can get it stamped in our mind, at least 2 or 3 or 4, and then when we go back, contemplate on this. The more we contemplate, the more it becomes impressed in our mind, embedded in our mind. If we just leave it, that will also go after some time. But that manana should be there, intense manana. So this time Papa provided, those serious topics were taken up in a lighter way. He did not make us feel that we are talking about tall talks, we are dealing with serious subjects. But all that he did was serious subject only, but with a lighter approach. So we try to remember one by one, and try to do that. Very, very happy that many things are there in our mind, It helps everyone, not only the person who raises, not only the persons who hear it, we also get benefited. Again and again and again, whatever dimensions he made us to dwell upon, again it comes back to us through anecdotes, so that through anecdote means it gets stamped in our mind. Rather than learning something or mugging up something, or it is not that. It's our own direct experience. So in that way, we will try to make this session, tomorrow is the last day, session as effective as possible. Hari Om. Om Shri Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om. Even while we chant, let us try to witness our chanting, Now and here. Om. Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Hari Om.